everyone, we are Group 9 and my name is Geng Qi. My ID number is 250848112. Today I will present the topic about the application of mind mapping software in school management. In the current educational landscape, school administrators are no longer just educators. They are project managers, financial planners, and strategic visionaries. The sheer volume of information, from curriculum standards to student safety protocols, can be overwhelming. Traditional linear documents often fail to capture the complex connections within school systems. Mind mapping, however, offers a non-linear visual framework that mirrors the way our brains naturally process information. We will look at how to categorize these digital tools, analyze the market leaders, and establish a rigorous selection framework to ensure your institution chooses the right technology to enhance its operational efficiency. Before we dive into specific brands, we must understand the technical landscape. Mind mapping tools are generally classified into four distinct categories based on their architecture. First, cloud-based tools. In an area of remote work and hybrid learning, these are essential. They allow a department head in one building to brainstorm with the principal in another in real time. Second, we have desktop native software. These are the power user's choice. They reside on your hard drive, providing superior speed and crucially allowing you to work during network outages, a common issue in many aging school infrastructures. Third, mobile applications. As administrators, you are rarely at your desk. You are in the hallways, in the cafeteria, or at community events. Mobile apps allow you to capture lightning strike ideas or take notes during campus walkthroughs. Finally, there are open source options. While these require a bit more technical setup, they offer ultimate customization and data sovereignty, which is a significant advantage for schools with robust IT departments, but limited budgets. Understanding these categories is the first step in narrowing down your research. Now let's examine the big four of industry. Xmind is often the top choice for individual professional use. Its Zen model is particularly useful for administrators who need to focus on complex tasks like writing a 5-year strategic plan without digital distractions. It offers specialized structures like fishbone diagrams, which are excellent for root cause analysis when addressing school-wide issues. Mind Manager, conversely, is the enterprise heavyweight. Its power lies in its integration. You can turn a mind map branch into an Outlook task or pull data directly from an Excel budget sheet. For high-level district financial planning, Mind Manager is hard to beat. For team-wide adoption, we look at Kaggle. It is incredibly intuitive. If you can click a button, you can use Kaggle. This makes it perfect for faculty-wide brainstorming while you don't want to spend hours on training. Lastly, MindMaster offers the most balanced cloud experience, with specific education plans that simplify the listening process for large institutions while maintaining high security standards. Selecting a tool for a school is much more complex than choosing one for personal use. We must evaluate four critical pillars. First, functionality versus ease of use. There is always a trade-off. A tool with too many features might be ignored by busy teachers, while a tool that is too simple might not meet the needs of the finance department. You must find the sweet spot for your specific team. And second, collaboration. Does the software support vision control? Can you see who made what change? In school management, accountability is key. Third, and perhaps most importantly, security and compliance. As administrators, we handle sensitive student and staff data. Any tool we use must comply with regulations like GDPR or FERPA. You must ask, where is the data stored? Is it encrypted? Finally, we must consider sustainability. This involves not just the initial cost, but the long-term licensing model. Is it a one-time purchase or recurring subscription? Does it work on the school's existing hardware? A tool is only effective if it is accessible to everyone who needs it, regardless of the device they are using. To wrap up, mind mapping is not just about drawing bubbles and lines. It is about classifying through and streaming action. My strategic recommendation is this: do not look for the software with the most features. Instead, look for the software that solves your institution's biggest bottleneck. If your school struggles with collaborative communication, prioritize a cloud tool like Kaggle. If your primary challenge is managing complex, data-heavy administrative projects, invest in a robust desktop solution like Mind Manager. By strategically implementing the right mind mapping tool, we can move from a state of information overload to a state of structured clarity. The efficiency ultimately allows us to spend less time on paperwork and more time on what truly matters: the education and well-being of our students. As we reach our final slide, I want to take a moment to look past the software icons and the colorful branches. What we are really discussing today is not just the software, it is the evolution of administrative mindset. In school management, we often suffer from solid information. The finance department has their spreadsheets. The teachers have their lesson plans, and the board has their 5-year goals. These soils are where efficiency goes to die. Mind mapping is the connective tissue that brings these departments together. By concluding our session today, I want to leave you with the concrete strategic recommendation that you can. When you sit down to make the final purchase, I want you to view your choice through 2 specific lessons. Scenario 1. If your school's primary challenge is faculty assignment, if you find that your staff meetings are unproductive or that curriculum coordination is inconsistent, your strategic choice must be a cloud-first tool like Kaggle or MindMaster. Why? Because the friction of entry is low. You want a tool where a teacher can click a link in an email and immediately start contributing ideas without installing a single file. In this scenario, accessibility is more important than features. Scenario 2. However, if your challenge is institutional complexity, if you are overseeing a multi-million-dollar campus expansion, or if you are managing a district with high security requirements, your strategic choice must be a desktop powerhouse like MindManager or XMind. In these cases, you are dealing with heavy data. You need the giant charts, the budget integrations, and the peace of mind that comes with local data encryption. Here, power and security outweigh ease of use.
Hello everyone, I'm Yu Haiyan. Now I will talk about 3 core application scenarios of mind mapping software in school management. So before I go into each scenario, let me quickly explain what I mean by application scenarios. Basically, these are real situations in a school where mind mapping software can actually help, not just for taking notes or making pretty diagrams, but for solving real management problems. I'm going to show you 3 specific situations. The first one is about strategic planning, how schools set long-term goals and organize their teams. The second one is about meetings and teaching planning, 2 very different things, but both benefit from mind mapping. And the third one is about student affairs, activities, rules, and daily student management. For each scenario, I will give you real cases from real schools, the tools they used, and the actual results they got. So let's start with scenario 1. Scenario 1, strategic planning and organizational structuring. The core function here is to build a structure that connects goals, tasks, responsibility, and resources, and it helps you see the school's development path in one picture. Now let me give you 2 real cases. Case 1, a secondary school in Malaysia. They used a tool called Process On. They took their 5-year strategic plan and broke it into 4 branches. Basically, they divided the big plan into 4 areas. The result is plan execution rate of 42%. So this example shows that when you break a big plan into smaller branches, everyone can see their part. That's why execution went up by 42%. Now let me show you another example from China, a high school in China. They used a tool called XMind. This helped clarify across departmental roles, so everyone knew who was responsible for what. The result is role awareness went from 68% to 95%, and task evasion went down 60%. So people stopped saying, that's not my job. So mind mapping helps with planning and organizing. When role awareness goes from 68 to 95%, that's not just a number. That means fewer meetings to clarify who does what. Less time wasted on emails asking who is responsible for this. It means teachers and staffs can focus on their actual work instead of figuring out who should do what. So the 42% execution rate increase. That's real time saved, real progress made. Next is scenario 2, meeting management and academic teaching planning. I will divide into 2 parts. Part A, meeting management. A primary school in Croatia used a tool called MindMeister. They put their agenda and action items in the mind map during meetings. The result is 82% decision implementation. Most of what they decide actually got done. Part 2, academic teaching planning. Now here's the follow chart I want to focus on. A language teaching group used MindManager and Canva to plan their teaching schedule. As you can see from the follow chart, it connects 5 key elements. Their teachers, courses, classrooms, scheduling logic, and time slots in one clear logical flow. You can see how everything links together from who is teaching all the way to when each class happens. Before using mind mapping, this whole scheduling process took 5 days. after using mind mapping, it took only 2 days. That's a 60% improvement, and on top of that, they got 40% consistency gain, meaning all the teachers were more aligned on what to teach and when. So this follow chart shows how mind mapping turns a complicated scheduling problem into something clear and visual. Now you can imagine doing this the old way. You have a bunch of Excel sheets, one for teachers, one for classroom, and one for courses. You are trying to match them manually. Someone sends an email, you update your file. But someone else has a different version. It's a messy. You waste days just trying to get everyone on the same page. That's why the 5 days to 2 days improvement is so big. It's not just faster, it's less stressful and less error prone. Next is scenario 3, student affairs and activity management. I want to talk about the activity planning first. An international school in Malaysia used a tool called Kaggle to plan their campus cultural festival. They used it to clarify task division and the workflow, so everyone knew who does what. What were the results? Preparation time went down by 30% and unexpected problem went down by 75%. So that's for activities. Now let's look at another area, student behavior. A completely different use but just as effective. A rural primary school used Popular to make illustrated codes, school rules with pictures. These were much more accessible for students, especially younger kids. Compared to text-only manuals, awareness and compliance went up by 50%. So students understood the rules better and followed them more. Now let's quickly look at the performance summary of 3 scenarios. This table gives you a clear overview for strategic planning tools like Process on XMind, the execution up 42%, evasion down 60%. For meeting and academic management, the tools like MindMeister, MindManager, the decision up to 82%, scheduling from 5 days down to 2 days. For student affairs and activity management, tools like Kaggle and Padlet, the time down 30% and compliance up to 50%. So if you look at all 3 scenarios together, you can see a pattern. Every single scenario showed measurable improvement, whether it's execution, evasion, or scheduling time or compliance. The numbers are different, but the story is the same. Mind mapping helps schools work better. So the best part, these are not expensive or complicated tools. Most of them are free. Or have education plans. So schools can try to start using them. Now let's look at the summary and the key implications. First, the 3 core values. Core value 1, 30 to 50% management efficiency. That's the range of improvement we saw across different schools. Administrative velocity goes up, planning quality goes up, things don't get stuck as often. A task that took 5 days now takes 2. That's what management efficiency looks like in real life. Value 2, enhanced collaboration. When everyone sees the same map, cross-departmental synergy just happens naturally. No more guessing who should do what. Workflows become transparent. People from different departments can actually work together without stepping on each other's toes. The last value, decision optimization. Visual logic makes decision-making cleaner. You can see the data, the connections, the gaps. Schools leaders don't have to rely on memory or messy emails. They look at one map and know what to do. That's refined decision quality. Yes. So those are the three core values: efficiency, collaboration, and decisions, and better decisions. Then the practical implications. What should schools actually do? First, scenario-based selection. Choose tools based on your real needs. Don't just follow trends. Second, structured thinking. Provide training. The tool only works if people know how to think in a structured way. Third, human-tech balance. Don't forget the human side. Technology is great, but school management is about people too. So that's it for 3 scenarios. Now my teammate will continue with the challenges and the suggestions. Thanks.
So my group members have already talked about the backward, test, and the use of the meaning-making tools in school management. And next, I will continue to share the real value of the tools and the programs we will making when we use in the work time, and how to get the best way to use them well. So the next part is part three, is about the value and the research support. So we will talk about the why meeting mapping is so good for real schools. Meeting mapping can make the management work in from the 30% to the 15% faster and better. And it helps people work together more easily across different departments. So it also helps the school leaders or the management to make the better design clearly and useful. So most important, it helps to change from the old style management to the new detail management. It's very important for when we use the mean mapping tool. And the many research studies or probably points there is this use tools help teachers work together better. For the students, some students from the poor family backwards, being the mapping helps in thinking and learning more clearly, and easy to use tools also help teachers improve the computer and technology skills. So we can see mapping is not just from the theory, it brings real clearly benefits to the school. But however, we will know there are every tool has the good and the bad side. We use the mean mapping also bring some problems. So in the part 4, we have the 4 main problems when we use meeting mapping. The first problem is about when the school choose the tools, they always choose the wrong tools because some school just following pollution tools without thinking. They get the tools with too many useless functions, or the tools that don't fit the real needs. They just think that size. The other school have it, so we must have it too because we need completing. So all they don't do it only, or do it only to for the meeting installation requirements. So it just wastes many money and resources. It does nothing to help improve the teaching quality or the education quality. The second is about the people. Many people don't know how to use the tool well. Many teachers and work schooling use the main mapping to the drawing picture. It's not to organize the ideas. So the tool becomes just a form, and don't have all things. So the technology does not equal well at all. The third problem is about the online tools have safety risk. So it means user tools may work slowly when many people use them together. So in this time, school information may be liquid or not safe. So if information is not safe, we should not use this technology lightly. The last problem is too much technology makes you us care less about the people. If we depend too much on the world, we may forget the world inside of the education. The relationship between teachers and students may become rookie. So there are the following programs we will need to servers when we use the main mapping tools. So how we can serve these programs? What we can do? If I have 4 easy and practical suggestions. The first one is we need to choose the right tools carefully. Choose the right way we can get the right solution. So we need to choose tools based on your skill size and the learning needs. Not the most expensive or the popular one. Choose the tools that work well with the computer and the system your school already uses. It's very important. So the second is we need to give enough training. School should hold practical training. It means we need to help the user, like the teacher, the management, or the student. We need to help them to use, not only learn to use the tool, but also learn to organize the thought clearly. Only in this way, we can use the tool really improve the work. It's not just like work with some picture simply. The third, we need keep school information safe. When we use the tool that follow the safety rules, we need to make clearly rules to story and the practical school information. So no data is lost or lacking is the key about using the main mapping. So the fourth, we need to get the balance between the technology and human care. The technology should help education. It means in the process of education, teacher and the students are always in the center. The technology just supports, so not take the place of the teachers and communication. We need to keep the space for flexible copying and caring. So use the both data and real feelings when checking school management. Their 4 points are the key to using mind mapping well. So from the part 3 and the part 4, we can get the conclusion. We can now the main mapping support is light help for detailed tools. So it has already been used in many parts of school management. Its value has been proven by many students around the world from the 2018 to the 2024. So in the future, schools should remember the 4 things. First, choose the right tools. Second, give enough training. Third, keep information safe. And the fourth, we need to get the balance between the technology and human care. If we do this well, need mapping will truly help improve the school management and the education quality. So it will also help us in finishing the detailed transformation of the education successfully. So this is the 4 key ways to in our presentation. So that's all for my presentation, and thank you very much for listening.